Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol.
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय।
Jai
शिल प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai
गुरु महाराज की जय।
Jai
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
Jai
शिव गण कृष्णदास प्रभु जी की
Jai.
जय। All glories to assembled devotees. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you all devotees once again for joining our Nityam Bhagavata Sevya, daily Srimad Bhagavatam reading morning session. Hare Krishna. So, yesterday we have completed up to verse number 16 of chapter 15, entitled Paraśurāma, the Lord's Warrior Incarnation. So, today we will start with verse number 17 onwards. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudire. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktar Bhavati Nashtagi. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangum Lange Degirim Yat Kripatamaham Mante Paramananda Madhavam Sri Gurum Dinadarinam Sri Chaitanya Misharam ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुमीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा मह्यं ददान्ति सुपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांशा श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांशाम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगलपति गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्य च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देव गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुवाय कृष्णाय गुरुवे Hare Krishna. Welcome once more, all devotees. Hare Krishna. So we'll start verse number 17 and start with verse number 17 onwards. All translation only 19, 20, 21. Guruji, we will read.
Yes, Prabhu. Up to purport we will read, Prabhu.
One with a small purport, that also
Yeah,
will read.
up to that we will read.
Up to that or
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So you want to continue more, little more, it's okay.
No, next person can read from the other
Yes,
verse.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I
Yes,
will
yes. Yes.
read in the 17, 9 to 9, 20, 21.
Possibly read, Prabhu, otherwise you can give it to other.
Okay, I can read, no problem. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, Krishna. Verse number 17 to start today. Sri Badarayani Ruvacha Haihaya Namadhipadi Padirarjuna Kshatriyarkshabha Dattam Narayanam Shamaradhya Parikarmabhihi Bahur Dashashatam Lebhe Durdharshatva Maradhishu Avyaha Avyahadendriyauja Avyahadendriyauja Sri Tejo Virya Yasho Balam Yogeshwara Tvamaishwaryam Guna Yatrani Madayah Chacharavyahamagadatirlogeshu Pavano Yatha. Sri Badarayaniruvacha Hayanama Namadhipadirarjunaha Kshetriyarshabha Dattam Narayanam Shamsamaradhya Parikarmabhihi Bahur Deshashadam Lebhe Durdharshatvamadishu Avyahadendriyau Jaham Sri Tejo Virya Yashobalam Yogeshwara Tvamaishwaryam Guna Yatrani Madayah Vyahagadir Logeshu Pavano Yadha. Translation by His Divine Grace Abhayacharana Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Shukdev Goswami said, the best of the Kshatriyas, Kartaviryarjuna, the king of the Haihayas, received 1,000 alms by worshipping Dattatreya, the plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana. He also became undefeatable by enemies and received unobstructed sensory power, beauty, influence, strength, fame, and the mystic power by which to achieve all the perfections of yoga, such as anima and lekhima. Thus, having become fully opulent, he roamed all over the universe without opposition, just like the wind. Read once more. It's Shukdev Goswami said, the best of the Kshatriyas, Kartaviryarjuna, the king of the Haihayas, received 1,000 alms by worshipping Dattatreya, the plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana. He also became undefeatable by enemies and received unobstructed sensory power, beauty, influence, strength, fame, and the mystic power by which to achieve all the perfections of yoga, such as anima and lekhima. Thus, having become fully opulent, he roamed all over the universe without opposition, just like the wind. Okay. Next verse number 20. Striratnairavyadah kridan revam sabhi madotkadaham Vaijayantim srajam Biprad Rurodha Saridam Bhujaiha Sriratnairavrudah Kridan Revambhasi Madotkadaha Vaijayantim Srajam Biprad Rurodha Saridam Bhujaiha. Translation by His Divine Grace Abhayacharana Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Once while enjoying in the water of the river Narmada, the puffed up Kartavirya Arjuna, surrounded by beautiful women and garlanded with a garland of victory, stopped the flow of the water with his arms. Translation once while enjoying in the water of the river Narmada, the puffed up Kartaviryarjuna, surrounded by beautiful women and garlanded with a garland of victory, stopped the flow of the water with his arms. Okay, next we'll go to verse number 21. verse number 21. Viplabidam Sushibiram Pradisroda Sarijalaiham Namrishyat Tasya Tad Viryam Viramani Dashananaham Viplabidam Sushibiram Pradisroda Sarijalai Namrishyat Tasya Tad Viryam Viramani Dashananaham. Additional translation purport by His Divine Grace Abhayacharana Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Because Kartavirya made the water flow in the opposite direction, the camp of Ravana, which was set up on the bank of the Narmada near the city of Mahishmati, was inundated. This was unbearable to the 10-headed Ravana, who considered himself a great hero and could not tolerate Kartaviryaarjuna's power. Because Kartaviryaarjuna made the water flow in the opposite direction, the camp of Ravana, which was set up on the bank of the Narmada near the city of Mahishmati, was inundated. This was unbearable to the 10-headed Ravana, who considered himself a great hero and could not tolerate Kartaviryaarjuna's power. Purport. Ravana was turning to gain victory. Sorry. Ravana was out touring to gain victory over other countries, Digvijaya, and he had camped on the bank of the Narmada river near the city of Mahishmati. Continue, Prachi?
Yes, I will shortly discuss what is first read actually.
Yeah,
Hare
yeah.
Krishna, humble pranams to all assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis.
Okay.
So we are actually discussing about Paraśurāma, the incarnation of as a supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So this is a warrior incarnation. So you can see here, Lord Paraśurāma, he killed the Kshatriyas. How many times in the earth? 21 times.
21 times, yeah.
Yeah, so naturally, Parishit Maharaj is having a question. What made Paraśurāma to behave like that? Why did he kill the Kshatriyas? So in that way, then Sukadeva Goswami is answering why, why Lord Paraśurāma, he did like that. We can see that they are discussed that these Kshatriyas were not good. Kshatriyas means they are the rulers, the kings. They are very much too proud. They were not actually protecting the Brahmanas. They were covered by passion and ignorance, and they were actually a burden to earth. So one, we know that the Lord is very much favorable to protection of Namo Brahmane Devaya, Go Brahmane Hitacha, Jagditaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. So Krishna is very famous for, is very specific for protecting the Brahmanas and actually the cows. So we know that Brahmana is one who is very much into the spiritual life, not by birth. So Lord is actually very much dear to them, and he always tries to protect the Brahmanas and the cows. Now we can see here in this case also this Kshatriyas, they were not actually supporting these activities, either the protection of Brahmanas or cows. So the Lord naturally became very upset. And in that context, he is discussing about Kartavirya Arjuna and how he offended. In the course of following verses, we will see how Kartavirya Arjuna, already we read the previous two verses, how he got the power by worshipping Dattatreya. Who is Dattatreya? He is also a plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In North India, many people worship Dattatreya.
Yeah.
It's also a plenary expansion of Narayana. So he worshipped Dattatreya, and same like Ravana also, worshipped, and he got so much boons. Like that, he worshipped Dattatreya, and he became undefeatable by enemies. So he became very powerful Kshatriya, unobstructed sensory power. Not only that, he got very much beautiful influence, strength. So we know the Bhagavan has all these things: Aishwarya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashashriya, Jnana, Vairagya. All these 6 things are full in Bhagavan. In that, he has achieved partly. Kartavya Arjuna, he has achieved power, beauty, influence, strength, fame, and mystic power also of all. So you can see that almost he is undefeatable. Even we can say like Hiranyakashipu. So he was like very powerful by doing this tapasya. He got all these boons. So after that, what happens? When a person gets all this, naturally, he will be puffed up. Any conditioned soul, he will be puffed up. So the next verse, immediately it is said about, once he got that, then what Kartavya Arjuna did? He was enjoying in the river Narmada. This river Narmada is said somewhere flowing near the state of Gujarat, in that place. The puffed up Kartavya Arjuna surrounded by beautiful women. So puffed up means naturally his false ego was inflated because of so much power, fame. Even if you see, he had so many things. Conditioned soul, if they get all these things, yes. So we can see that it is very important. Like he was surrounded by beautiful women and garlanded with victory. He did, he just for like casually, out of his puffed up nature, he stopped the flow of water with his arms. His arms were so powerful, he was able to actually stop the flow. Then what happens? Because he stopped the water started flowing in the opposite direction. Because the river flows in one direction, it stopped, it flows in other direction. The camp of Ravana, which was set up in the bank of Narmada river. So here Ravana is also coming into picture. That means it has happened at the time of Ramayana time. Camp of Ravana, which was set up in the bank of Narmada, near the city Mahishmati, was inundated. Yeah, because the water flowed, it inundated the city of Mahishmati. This was unbearable to 10-headed Ravana. See, Ravana also short-tempered. We know Ravana. He's also like a very furious person, very strong, very powerful. So he became very angry, who considered himself a great hero and could not tolerate Kartavya Arjuna's power. So he's saying that, like they say in this thing, only one sword can be there. They say like that. So one hero cannot tolerate other hero. So Ravana also is a great hero, 10-head, very powerful king. And here he's seeing this Kartavya Arjuna is actually abusing his powers. So he was not able to tolerate. So Srila Prabhupada is writing the purport. Ravana was out touring to gain victory. That's called Digvijay. So those days, the previous yugas, the king used to go to the other countries and they will actually defeat the kings. And once they are defeated, that kingdom will be a part of their kingdom. So that is called Digvijay. And same way, they can also debate on the philosophy. That also Digvijay. So in even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, we know the one person from north, he came, Keshav Kashmiri, right? He came for Digvijay. So to conquering, defeating with the philosophies. So either by philosophy or by physical power. Kings will defeat by philosophical power and the Brahmanas will defeat by the philosophical power. And he had camped on the bank of Narmada river near the city of Mahishmati. Yeah. So we will continue, see what happens next between Kartavya Arjuna and Ravana.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Want to read verse number 22 onwards?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
23, 24. I mean, okay. 24 with the purport. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam 9th Canto, Chapter 15, Sloka number 22. Gruhito liliya strinam samaksham kruti kilbishaha mahishamyatvam sanniruddho mukto yena kapiryatha गृहीतो लीलिया स्त्रीणां समक्षं किल्बिषः महिष्मत्यं सन्निरुद्धो मुक्तो येन कपीर्यथा. Translation. When Ravana attempted to insult Kartavirya in the presence of the woman and thus offended him, Kartavirya easily arrested Ravana and put him in custody in the city of Mahishmati. Just as one captures a monkey and then released him neglectfully. Translation once again. When Ravana attempted to insult Kartavirya in the presence of the woman and thus offended him, Kartavirya easily arrested Ravana and put him in custody in the city of Mahishmati, just as one captures a monkey and then released him neglectfully. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. 23 also, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
स एकदा तु मृगायां विचरन् विजने वने यदृच्छयाश्रमपदं जमदग्निरुपाविशत् स एकदा तु मृगायां विचरन् विजने वने यदृच्छयाश्रमपदं जमदग्निरुपाविशत्. Translation. Once while Kartavirya was wandering unengaged in a solitary forest and hunting, he approached the residence of Jamadagni. Translation once again. Once while Kartavirya was wandering unengaged in a solitary forest and hunting, he approached the residence of Jamadagni. Purport. Kartavirya had no business going to the residence of Jamadagni, but because he was puffed up by his extraordinary power, he went there and offended Paraśurāma. This was the prelude to his being killed by Paraśurāma for his offense act. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So interestingly, Ravana was actually defeated, captured, and then later released because that much powerful Kartavirya Arjuna was. So, you can see that. So, we can see the power of Kartavirya Arjuna. So, he's so much, already the previous verses describe, he's having power, influence, fame, also yogi, mystic powers, everything. So, it is like for him, he feels that he is undefeatable. Nobody can defeat him. So, he is in that mindset now. So anyhow, he arrested Ravana and then he just released him neglectfully. He said, "You are no worth to me, to capture you or because you are no match to me." Like that, he released. After that, what Kartavirya Arjuna is doing, he was going to a forest for hunting. There, he is approaching the residence of Jamadagni Muni. So here now we are getting the answer why actually Paraśurāma killed. So here Prabhupada is writing, Kartavirya Arjuna has no business going to the residence of Jamadagni because he is a Kshatriya and Jamadagni is a saint. So he has no business to go there. But because he was puffed up, he's in a false ego. They say, even in Krishna consciousness, we say we should avoid sense gratification. It is said that sense gratification also sometimes you can stop. You can stop after repeated practice. But false ego, to annihilate the false ego is the last challenge in spiritual life. Because the false ego is not easily destroyed. It is very difficult for false ego. Even after somebody is developing in spiritual life, still false ego will be a challenge. Sense gratification they can control. But false ego will be the biggest challenge. Now then we can understand about for spiritual people, what about material people? It is very difficult. So here he was puffed up with his extraordinary power. So normally they'll be in full illusion that time. Somebody like is in the influence of alcohol, he do not know what he's doing. Like that, people who are puffed up in false ego, they do not know what is right, what is wrong, and they do not know what they are doing. So like that here, Kartavirya Arjuna, because of his extraordinary power, was totally deluded. He went there and offended Paraśurāma. In Jamadagni ashram, he went and offended Paraśurāma. This was the prelude to his being killed by Paraśurāma for his offensive act. So here, Sukadeva Goswami as answering Parishit Maharaj's question, why actually Paraśurāma, even though he's an incarnation of the Lord, why he killed like that? So for that, he started giving the answer in this verse that here we can see in the coming verses, it will be describing what was the offense and how Lord Paraśurāma killed Kartavirya Arjuna, even though he was extraordinarily powerful, how Paraśurāma actually killed Jamadagni, killed Kartavirya Arjuna. So that we can discuss next verse. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So next is verse number 24. Want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Srimad Bhagavatam 9.15.24. Tasmai sa naradevaya munir arhanam aharata sa sainayamata ya bahaya havismatya tapodhana tasmai sa naradevaya munir arhanam aharata Sasainyamaya Bahaya Havismatya Tapodhana. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Chandravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Silopad Ki Jai. Translation. The sage Jamad Agni, who was engaged in great austerity in the forest, received the king very well along with the king's soldiers, minister, and carriers. He supplied all the necessities to worship those goddesses, for he possessed a Kamadhenu cow that was able to supply everything. Translation once again. The sage Yama Angani, who was engaged in great austerity in the forest, received the king very well along with the king's soldiers, minister, and carriers. He supplied all the necessities to worship those guests, for the possessed a Kamdhenu cow that was able to supply everything. Purport. The Brahma Samhita inform us that the spiritual bird, and especially the planet Goloka Vrindavan, where Krishna life is full of Surabhi cow, Surabhir Abhipalyantam. The Surabhi cow is also called Kamadhenu, although Jamadagni possessed only one Kamadhenu. He was able to get from it everything desirable. Thus he was able to receive the king, along with the king great number of followers, ministers, soldiers, animals, and planet queen carriers. When we speak of a king, we understand that he is accompanied by many followers. Jamadagni was able to receive all the king's followers properly and feed them supposedly with food prepared in ghee. The king was astonished at how opulent Jamadagni was because of possessing only one cow, and therefore he became envious of the great sage. This was the beginning of his offenses. Paraśurāma, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, killed Kartavirya Arjuna because Kartavirya Arjuna was too proud. One may possess an unusual opulence and this material world, but if one become puffed up and act whimsically, he will be punished by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the lesson to learn from this story, in which Paraśurāma became angry at Kartavirya Arjuna and killed him, and rid the entire world of Kshatriyas 21 times. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Guruji.
Very beautifully Prabhupada is
Yes.
giving the purport here. So here we can see how Kartavirya Arjuna went for the forest, and there he went to the hermitage of Jamadagni. So here we can see the sage Jamadagni, he was engaged in great austerities in the forest. So as a saint, saintly person, he received the king very nicely. Along with the king means not only king, soldiers, ministers, and carriers. So all of them he received very nicely, showed his hospitality. He supplied all the necessities to worship these guests. Means the guests were taken care properly by feeding them, by giving them place for rest. How he was able to, as a single saint, he's living alone in the forest. How he is able to do all these things. because he possessed a Kamadhenu cow that was able to supply everything Jamadagni desired. So Prabhupada mentions in the purport, he refers Brahma Samhita. We know the famous Brahma Samhita verse, Chintamani Prakarasu Sadma Su Kalpa Vriksha Laksha Vriteshu Surabhi Rapi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrama Sevyamana Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That is giving a description about the spiritual world, because we are not able to see the spiritual world from here. From the scriptures, there is some glimpse. Lord Brahma is seeing the spiritual world and giving this Chintamani. So the houses is made with the touchstone, Chintamani. And there are desire trees, Kalpa Vriksha. And there are Surabhi cows. Surabhi cows, same like cows here, but Surabhi cows are like, they can call this called as Kamadhenu. Now, if you see this Kamadhenu, in many temples, you can see this photo of Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu means whatever you desire, it can give you. That's why it's called Kamadhenu, Surabhi cow. And it can give you unlimited milk. There is no unlimited milk. That's why the Goloka, it's made with milk actually, like Goloka. It's a cow, cows. All the cows are Surabhi cows there. So here you can see Jamadagni possessed only one Kamadhenu. Goloka is full of Kamadhenu. Okay. But here Jamadagni possessed only one Kamadhenu. So from that Kamadhenu, he was able to get from everything desirable, whatever he desired. See, so many kings and assistants he wanted to feed. By the help of Kamadhenu, he was able to fulfill everything. Thus he was, because of Kamadhenu, thus he was able to receive the king, along with the great numbers of followers who are ministers, soldiers, animals, like horses will come, all those things, palanquin carriers. Okay, so Prabhupada says, whenever we speak of a king, it's not alone. Whenever we speak of Krishna, also Krishna is never alone. Krishna means Krishna, along with Krishna, there are always Krishna's devotees, Krishna's paraphernalia. So Krishna is never alone, Prabhupada says. Krishna is always surrounded with his devotees. So like that, when we speak of a king is never alone. We understand that he is accompanied by many followers. So Jamadagni was able to feed them very nicely. Those days culture was, food is prepared in pure ghee. Now the king is seeing how is one person, he's having only one cow, and he's able to do so much wonders and miracles. If I have this cow, then I can also be like him. So therefore he became envious. Envious means like what you want, somebody else is having, that you become envious. So envious is, we know that it's a very, very deadly disease of the conditioned soul. This envious is there, we cannot be happy. If anybody is having this envious quality, Nirmatsaranam, in Bhagavatam says, those who are envious, they cannot appreciate and understand Bhagavatam. In the beginning of Bhagavatam itself, Nirmatsaranam, the word is used. Only who can understand and appreciate Srimad Bhagavatam and receives the blessing of the Bhagavatam is, whose soul is never envious. So this envious is, in the beginning itself declared, it's a very, very much negative quality for the conditioned souls. Here, Kartaviriya Arjuna became envious of this great sage because he had this cow, which he did not have. So this was the starting point of the offense. Now this is how the offense started. Till now the situation is going normal. They are receiving and just everything. But when he became enviousness, what happened? Paraśurāma, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, killed Kartaviriya Arjuna. Why? Because Kartaviriya Arjuna was too proud. In what way he was proud? One may possess unusual affluence in the material world. Here also in the material world, people are becoming wealthy, powerful. Sometimes, overnight they become wealthy people. Now they become like YouTube or Instagram. Instantly they become, overnight, when there is millions of views, that person becomes instantly, within one night, he will become famous. And next day he gets too much money. But if one is become puffed up and acts whimsically, what will happen? He will be punished by Supreme Personality of God. We know that Krishna always likes humility. Trunadapi sunichena, tarorapi saishnuna, manena manadena, kirtanena. The Lord is attracted by humility, not by puffed up false ego. So whenever anybody is getting false ego, puffed up by false ego, the material nature will teach them a very good lesson. So that's why it is said that we should always stay humble. Whatever our situation, whether we are elevated or degraded, we should be always humble. And so one may possess unusual affluence, but if one becomes puffed up, the Lord is punished by the Lord. So here we can read proper. This is the lesson to learn from this history. So we have to take the lesson from the other people's. Bhagavatam is meant for this. Bhagavatam is meant for giving these lessons. So this pastime is going to give us this lesson. What is this lesson? That whatever we have, we should never become puffed up and we should always stay humble. Then only we can get the mercy of the Lord. So here in this pastime, we see that Paraśurāma became very angry at the Kartavirya Arjuna and killed him and rid the entire world of Kshatriyas 21 times. So this is why the reason why Lord Paraśurāma killed Kartavirya Arjuna, because he will now kidnap the cow also. Hearing that, then the Lord becomes very angry and then he will kill Kartavirya Arjuna. So that I think we'll discuss in the coming verse, next verse. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Yes, Mataji.
Srimad Bhagavatam 9.15.25. Savairatna ratnam tu tadristva atmishwarya tishayanam tannadriyatagnihotrayam sabhilasha sahihayaha. Savairatnam tu tadristva atmishwarya tishayanam Tannadriyatagnihotrayam Sabhilasha Sahihayaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Kartavirya Arjuna thought that Jabanagni was more powerful and wealthy than himself because of possessing a jewel in the form of the Kamadhenu. Therefore, he and his own men, the Haihayas, were not very much appreciative of Jabanagni's reception. On the contrary, they wanted to possess that Kamadhenu, which was useful for the execution of the Agnihotra sacrifice. Purport. Jamadagni was more powerful than Kartavirya Arjuna because of performing the Agnihotra yajna with clarified butter received from the Kamadhenu. Not everyone can be expected to possess such a cow. Nonetheless, an ordinary man may possess an ordinary cow, give protection to this animal, take sufficient milk from it, and engage the milk to produce butter and ghee, especially for performing the Agnihotra yajna. This is possible for everyone. Thus, we find that in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna advises Goraksha, the protection of cows. This is essential because if cows are cared for properly, they will surely supply sufficient milk. We have practical experience in America that in our various ISKCON farms, we are giving proper protection to the cows and receiving more than enough milk. In other farms, the cows do not deliver as much milk as in our farms because our cows know very well that we are not going to kill them. They are happy and they give ample milk. Therefore, this instruction given by Lord Krishna, Goraksha, is extremely meaningful. The whole world must learn from Krishna how to live happily without scarcity simply by producing food grains. Annad Bhavandi Bhudani and giving protection to the cows, Goraksha. Krishi Goraksha Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam. Those who belong to the third level of human society, namely the mercantile people, must keep land for producing food grains and giving protection to cows. This is the injunction of Bhagavad Gita. In the matter of protecting the cows, the meat eaters will protest. But in answer to them, we may say that since Krishna gives stress to the cow protection, those who are inclined to eat meat may eat the flesh of unimportant animals like hogs, dogs, goats, and sheep. But they should not touch the life of the cows, for this is destructive to the spiritual advancement of human society. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
So very, very wonderful and important purport Srila Prabhupada is giving here.
Yes,
A lot of things Prabhupada is highlighting in this purport about ISKCON, cow protection, and also ahimsa milk. That concept also. Ahimsa milk means when you are taking milk from a cow and you are protecting the cow after the cow stops giving milk, that milk is called ahimsa milk. So many ISKCON farms have this as ahimsa milk around the ISKCON center in UK and other US and India also. So once a cow stops giving milk, that cow, normal dairy farm, they will send it to slaughterhouse after the cow stops giving milk for the meat. But ahimsa milk means which is protected for their lifetime after stopping the milk also. So in ISKCON forms, this ahimsa milk is practiced, like given. They are selling ahimsa milk. It's little expensive, but they are selling this one. So that is very important. Here we can see how Kartavirya Arjuna, see, he was very nicely received by Jamadagni. He should be very happy that he is very nicely received. But instead of that, he and his followers, the soldiers, Ayahayas, own men, they are not very much appreciative of the reception. Instead of becoming happy, they became envious.
Envious.
But they thought, oh, let us take this cow, because this cow is a thing. People are tempted like that. They want to take others' property. So that is the main thing today. World, everybody is fighting because they want to take other countries' land, and then the fighting continues. Nobody is happy with their own land. In their country itself, enough land is there, but still, for for little extra mile, they will go for a war. So like that, even though Kartavirya Arjuna was very powerful, you can see that he had affluence, fame, he had mystic power, everything he had in his hand. But still, this one Kamadhenu is actually, he made his life miserable. So he thought, let me take this also. This is the greediness. Whatever you give, you will not be, still you want more. Like Mahatma Gandhi said, this world can satisfy everyone's need, but not one man's greed.
Greed.
Greed, yeah. So greediness is again like enviousness. This also again very, very destructive quality for the conditioned souls. So all the 6 qualities, no? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Anger, lust, anger, envy, greed, pride, and illusion. All are negative qualities only. Whatever we have, even one we have, our life will be miserable. So our spiritual life mainly is to purify. We want to remove all these anarthas. Anartha Nivritti. Anartha Nivritti means we have to remove all this Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. By chanting, by hearing, by discussing about the Lord, this we get purified of all these anarthas. Here you can see the Kartavirya Arjuna's greediness and enviousness together both. One is enviousness, and again greediness, you want to get the cow also, Kamadhenu. So Prabhupada gives a very nice purport here. So Jamadagni was actually more powerful than Kartavirya Arjuna because of he performed this Agnihotra Yajna with the clarified butter received from Kamadhenu. So this Yajna is very powerful. So Jamadagni was actually powerful, even though Kartavirya Arjuna had all the influences, he was more powerful. So nobody can have this cow. Okay, and now we can see an ordinary man may possess an ordinary cow. Give protection to this animal, take sufficient milk from it, and enjoy the milk to produce butter and clarified ghee, especially for performing Agnihotra Yajna. So Prabhupada said like 450 types of sweets we can make from the cow's milk. 450 types of sweets we can make from cow's milk. That much we can make, but killing cow is telling it is like like barbarian, like attack. Now you should be, if you are intelligent, take the cow milk and prepare so much preparations. Now if you go to any sweet shop, you can see so much milk preparations are there. So with cow's milk, we can do miracles, wonders, so much sweets. We get butter, we get ghee, we get cheese, we get paneer. We get so much products from the cow's milk, just from cow's milk. So this animal should be given protection. So thus we find in Bhagavatam, Krishna is telling, Go Rakshya, means protect the cows. Very, very important, cow protection. Always you can see Krishna background on cow will be standing. In any photo you can see. So Krishna likes cows and Krishna protects the cows. The Prabhupada writes about ISKCON here. We have practical experience in America that in various ISKCON forms, we are giving proper protection to the cows. Receiving more than enough milk, especially in New Vrindavan, that time they had many cows. In other farms, cows do not deliver as much milk as in other farms. Why they don't deliver? Because that cows are afraid of their life. Because in the normal dairy farm, they will use like cow like a machine. Always within the boundary, they'll be tied. Only they'll be removed from this one only to put the machine and take the milk. And again they'll be tied back. But the ISKCON is actually the cow protection. They will leave the cow for grazing in the field, open field. So the cow have more freedom and more care. So in that way, the cows are happy. So because our cow knows that, they will not be killed. So they are happy and they give ample milk. Prabhupada is writing. Therefore, this instruction is given by Lord Krishna. Go Raksha. Extremely meaningful. Always we should support Go Raksha. See, now maybe we are not in a position to support cow protection. But now at least what we can do, we can support the people who are doing cow protection. Like ISKCON, Vrindavan, they have Goshala. Many temples have Goshala. So to that Goshala, you can contribute every month. Some portion you can contribute. Or you can adopt a cow for 1 year. So like that, for me, like I am doing one cow adoption per year through ISKCON Vrindavan Goshala. So we will send money yearly one time. Yeah. One time. Because why I am saying this, because there are ways where we can contribute. Because every day we are drinking milk. So we can send, something, our part of our earning or part of our saving. And for 1 year, cows, this one, adopting one cow for 1 year is, I think, 35,000 per year. So that cow will be taken care. And some otherwise you can adopt one calf also, or you can feed for 1 day, for 1 month, like that. So there are goshalas everywhere. Vrindavan, ISKCON temples are running goshala. So you can specifically like that, because either we can keep cow in our home, but today modern lifestyle, our flat system, many things, maybe keeping cow in the home is not possible. But at least 20, 30 years before, everybody had a cow. Even in our home, we had 2 cows, even though we were living in township. Township also we had cow. My father was having, like everybody was having. But now system changed. Now hardly people keep dogs, but they don't keep cows. So hardly people, the essential system is like that. Cows are not there. But there are temples who are actually protecting. Goshala is there. Every temple, ISKCON temple is having a big Goshala. Whether it is Chennai temple, Pune temple, or Trivandrum temple. Every temple will have a Goshala, either within the temple campus or outside, the outskirts. So we can give some contribution to support who are actually engaged in this cow caring and cow protection. So this is essential. Why? Because if cows are cared for properly, they will surely supply sufficient milk. We have practical, this all we read already. So Go Raksha is very, very important. Krishna becomes pleased by cow protection. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Rishi Go Raksha Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam. Bhagavad Gita. 18th chapter, Krishna is telling that Vaishya's job is to protect cows and agriculture. So must keep producing food grains. This is a sustainable living model. Sustainable living model means if you have cow, you get milk, healthy milk, and you have food. Your field is there, and you get food. You don't depend on the government or government tax or power failure. So many things. You are self-sufficient farm. There are many self-sufficient farms in India also run by ISKCON, where they will have Goshala, temple, and then agricultural land. Every temple will have one setup like that. Like we have Govardhan Eco Village for Chaupati temple. For Pune temple also, we have outskirts in the village. We have one big, they will have like 10, 20 acres, 30 acres land. In that, some small temple will be there. Goshala will be there. And then cultivation will be there. So whenever you are visiting the temple, we can also visit that. So this is one of the GBC instruction to all the temples, that along with the temple, you should have like this setup. Because the temple will be in the middle of the city. And so the GBC has instructed all the temples that you should have one place to where you will have that protection, like Goshala, cultivation, and a small temple and accommodation there. So all the temple will have an outstation. In all ISKCON temples, big temples, small temples may not have that much finance, but big temples, they will have the setup outside. Like Pune temple is also having outside one big setup. Mumbai temple also having, like that they will have outside in the rural area one agricultural land, Goshala, small temple, and accommodation facility. So this is what Prabhupada's instruction, self-sustained living. This is the injunction of Bhagavad Gita. In the matter of protecting cows, the meat eater will protest. Now, if you tell this, again, especially Kerala and all, very much, they will challenge. People will oppose, strike, immediately they will open the beef shop and they will fight, protest, argue. For that, Prabhupada is giving solution. We may say that we can eat, but not cows. But those who are inclined to eat meat, they may eat flesh of unimportant animals like hog, goat, dog, sheep, like that. Alternate is there, at least because that is Krishna takes a very serious thing when the cow is being slaughtered. That's why we have so much war now, because we are killing so many cows. But they should not touch the life of cows, for this is destructive. What will happen? Destructive to spiritual advancement of the human society. See, materially we may advance, but destructing the cow means our spiritual advancement will be hampered. Very, very important point, this line, last line. As long as the animals are getting slaughtered, especially cows, the spiritual life will not be, they'll be destroyed. Their spiritual life will be destroyed. So very, very important purpose, and practically we can take some steps. As per Prabhupada's instruction, we can support the Goshala by contributing some financially, so that, this is very good. Our wealth also gets purified by such devotional activities.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Whatever,
Hare Krishna,
whatever
Prabhuji.
possible. Yeah.
Prabhuji, Hare
Yes.
Krishna. Just
Yeah.
wanted to inform Prabhuji, actually, there is one initiative from KKD, as per Guru Maharaj's instruction only. They are doing one project in Birnagar, Prabhuji. Srila Bhakti
Yes.
Vinod Swami Maharaj Janmadesh.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we are starting one Goshala and all. So the
Goshala
project,
also. Yes.
yeah, the discussion
Yes.
is going on, and myself
Yes.
and Melanki Mataji also there.
Yes.
Where
Vishaka
is
Mataji
Mataji?
and yourself are there for supporting.
Yes,
Which place,
Prabhuji.
Mataji?
Prabhuji in Birnagar.
Birnagar, Bhakti Vinod Thakur's birthplace.
Janmadesh. Yes, birthplace.
Yes.
Oh.
Definitely, Mataji, we will always extend our support.
Please,
Whatever.
Prabhuji. Yeah, that's what. We definitely need the support from all Kanyadesh devotees, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So from Kuwait or Mataji from
Prabhuji,
Kerala?
Qatar devotees are taking the initiative. KKD.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay.
So they are building a Prabhu, they are building a temple for in the appearance, the birthplace of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because he is the main founder of Krishna consciousness. So along with the temple, they will also establishing a Goshala nearby.
Yeah.
So that in that project, actually, Rasamai Mataji and Vishaka Mataji, they have volunteered to do some seva for this Goshala, like kind of support, coordination, like that. That's what Mataji is telling.
Very good. Thank you, Mataji.
Volunteers for the seva.
Wonderful. Yes.
So still, I think initially they're now still in the discussion stage. Once they finalize this
only.
one, then they can, then we can outreach, and maybe in our Kanyadesh we can present on program also, and we can ask for devotee support.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Sure, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So any other further questions, or we'll have one small share. I will share today's Ishwara Puri's disappearance day. So maybe we can just Ishwara Puri. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master. Today is his disappearance day. So today Ishwara Puri, right, Prabhu? You all know, right? Ishwara Puri, right?
Yes.
Ishwara Puri is a spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's a renowned saint and spiritual teacher in Bhakti tradition, associated with the lineage of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. He was the Diksha Guru of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So very important. You can see here, he was receiving the seed of Krishna Prem from Madhavendra Puri. So Ishwara Puri's spiritual master is Madhavendra Puri. And Ishwara Puri became the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we can see here, Madhavendra Puri, the spiritual master of Ishwara Puri, he became very much like physically limited at the time, at the end of his life. So Ishwara Puri, his disciple, he did all the humble services. He even cleaned up his stool and urine. Ishwara Puri helped his guru to remember Sri Krishna by always chanting Hare Krishna and telling Radha Krishna's pastimes. Pleasing Madhavendra Puri by these menial acts, Ishwara Puri received the treasure of Krishna Prem from his spiritual master. He did a lot of seva to his spiritual master. Vapu seva. Vapu seva, physical seva. So one day Ishwara Puri came to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house. The Lord personally cooked and lovingly served his spiritual master. After prasadam, Lord Chaitanya rubbed sandalwood paste on Ishwara Puri and offered fragrant flower garland. So how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu served his spiritual master. By his own example, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed how to properly worship and serve the Guru Parampara. Once while passing through Sri Ishwara Puri's birthplace, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became filled with rapture. Taking some dust, the Lord said, this dust is my life and soul. See how much respect he had, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, towards Ishwara Puri. So Ishwara Puri is actually disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and he's a guru of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And his qualities are very, very humble. A lot of menial services to his spiritual master. He had pure devotion to Lord Krishna, and he had loving service to his guru. And he's also written some books on devotional treasure. His devotional book is called as Krishna Leelamrita. Glorifies the pastimes of Lord Krishna in a sweet and devotional mood. Krishna Leelamrita. In Gaya, Ishwarapuri actually initiated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After initiating only, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started propagating this Krishna conscious movement. He constantly started Hare Krishna mantra. But the seed was given by Ishwarapuri in the Gaya. After that, only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became ecstatic for love for Krishna. Before that, he was a Pandit, right? He was teaching Sanskrit grammar. But after getting initiation from Ishwarapuri, he became ecstatic with Krishna Prema. So, Ishwarapuri represents the Guru Tattva and so many things, wonderful qualities. So, we'll all pray at the lotus feet of Sri Ishwarapuri on this auspicious day that we'll all follow the footsteps of our Guru and follow the teachings sincerely and progress in our Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Nobody has any doubt or anything to be clear? Nothing, I think, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for joining today. And after a short break, I think in the last 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, I think we didn't have any.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now back to normal. So next Saturday.
I see. Okay. Anyway, at least one day. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
So we will chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mantra for Shivamana Prabhuji as well as the devotees who are present today for everybody's spiritual progress altogether. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.